Magandang greetings. My name is Mariel Burgos and I will be presenting our class called Supply Item. So this class declares a public class named Supply Item, and being public means it can be accessed from anywhere in the program. So the class itself acts as a blueprint for creating objects that represents item in a supply inventory system. So everything that follows inside the curly braces defines the data and the behavior of a supply item. So for the private fields, we have here this 5, which is the private final string item ID, category, base value, weight, and priority level. So these lines define private fields of the class, which store the internal state of each object. So private restricts access, so these fields cannot be changed directly from outside the class. And then final ensures their values cannot be changed after the object is created. So for the first field, we have here the private final string item ID, which stores a unique identifier for the item. Next, private final string category, which stores the type or classification of the item. Next, private final double base value, which stores the cost of a single unit of the item. And then private final double weight, which stores the mass of a single unit in kilograms. And then private final ink priority level. This indicates the importance of the item on a scale from 1, which is low, to 5, which is critical. So for the constructor, we have here the public supply item. And this constructor initializes a new supply item object. So the method name matches the class name and has no return type. So for the parameters, we have the string item ID, string category, double base value, double weight, and in priority level. So these are passes when creating a new object. So this that item ID and all of this are assigns the parameter value to the object's field, differentiating it from the parameter. So all of these 5 fields are initialized here, ensuring that every supply item object has complete and immutable data. So for the getters method, the first one is the public string get item ID. This returns the unique identifier of the item. Next, the public string get category, which returns the type of the item. Next is the public double get base value, which returns the cost of a single unit. And then public double get weight, which returns the mass of a single unit. And then the get priority level, which returns the importance level. So next, for the value calculation method, we have here the public double get value. This method calculates the total value for a given quantity of items. So the int quantity is the number of the units, and base value times quantity multiplies the unit cost by the quantity to return the total price. Next, for the public double get total weight. So this method calculates the combined weight of a specified number of items. The int quantity is the number of the units, and weight times quantity multiplies the weight of a single unit by the quantity. And for the display, we have here the public void display. So this method prints all the properties of this supply item, and we use here the printing, which is for the output of each field with a label, and then the string format, which is used for the decimal numbers to 2 decimal places for clarity. Next is the weight, which is used to display the kilogram appended per units, and then now let's move to the next class, which is the public class supply batch. So this class declares a public class named supply batch. So being public allows it to be used by other classes. And this class represents a batch of supply items, grouping multiple supply item objects along with their quantities into a single unit for easier management. So for the private fields, we have here the private final string, batch ID, private final list supply items, private final list integer quantities. So these lines defines the internal data for each supply batch object. So the batch ID is a unique identifier for the batch, and item is a list that stores all of the supply item objects in this batch. And then the quantities is a list of integers representing how many units of each item are in the batch. So both items and quantities are linked by the index, meaning the quantity at index 1 corresponds to the item at index 1. So the fields are private and final, ensuring that the batch identity and structure cannot be replaced once created. For the constructor, we have here the public supply batch. This constructor initializes a new supply batch object. So it requires a batch ID to identify the batch. The this.item equal new array list creates an empty list for storing items. The this.quantities equals new array list creates an empty list for storing corresponding quantities. And every new batch starts empty and items are added later using the add item method. So for the getters, we have here the public string get batch ID. So the get batch ID returns the unique batch identifier. Next, the get items, which is used to returns the list of supply items objects in the batch. And then the quantities, which returns the list of quantities corresponding to the items. Next, we have the add item method. So the public void add item allows you to add a supply items and its quantity to the batch. So item is a supply item object to be added. The quantity is the number of units for that item. And then the items that add item adds item to the item list. And then the quantities that add quantity adds the corresponding quantity to the quantities list. And then for the total value calculation, we have here the public double get total value. So this method calculates the total monetary value of all items in the batch. So it initializes a total variable to 0. The for loop illustrates uh, the for loop iterates through all items in the batch. And for each items, which is items that get index, that get value quantities get index, calculates its total value based on the stored quantity. So each item's value is added to the total. And next, the total weight calculation, which is the public double get total weight. This method computes the total weight of the batch. This is similar to the value calculation because it initializes a total variable. It iterates through each item in the batch, and items that get index, that get total weight quantities, and get index returns the weight of the current item based on its quantity. Adds each item's weight to the running total, and then it returns the cumulative weight of all items in kilograms. And next, for the display method, we have here this public void display. So this method prints all the detailed summary of the batch, which shows the batch ID at the top. And then it iterates through all items, printing each item's IDs, category, quantity, total value, and total weight in readable format. And then we uses the string dot format for to format the decimal numbers with 2 decimal places. And at the end, it prints the total value and total weight of the batch. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, I'm Arben Spedillion. I'm going to present this line of code, the community class. The community class has a model area affected by the disaster within the disaster response system. Each community has the 4 key attributes like location name, population, risk level, and urgency. The location name, the name of the community, then the population, the total number of residents that community, and then the risk level, the representing the community's vulnerability, Then the urgency index is representing the current urgency of the situation. Then the constructor initialize all attributes when a community object is created, ensuring the system has all necessary information about this area. The getter method, which is this the getter method get location name and get population, then get reach level, then get the urgency index, provide a read-only access to each field, while the setter method is the update urgency, which is this the setter method updater that allows the urgency index to be updated dynamically, reflecting changes in disaster condition. This method allows allows preprint message showing the updated urgency for transparency, which is this updating for location name. And then the community class has contain a priority computation method like this the compute priority scores. This method compute priority scores. This gives the weight to the population size and the risk level and the current urgency index, providing a combined metric that can be guide resources allocation, which is this method. And then the display method, which is this. The purpose is this. It's to output all the relevant information in human readable format, including the location, population, risk level, urgency index, and the calculated priority scores. And then the community class encapsulate both static attributes, name, population, and risk level, and the dynamic attributes, which is the index urgency, and provide methods to update urgency, compute priority scores, and then display all relevant data. This makes a key class for the evaluating which community requires the most immediately attention during the disaster response. Thank you.